My name is Spaansche Rabbani. I'm chairman of the Lutfia Rabbani Foundation. The Lutfia Rabbani Foundation was established in the late 1970s by my parents with the objective of developing better understanding between the Arab world and Europe.
Entrepreneurship's a global topic. It's hot everywhere. And so it's not unusual to have a conversation about entrepreneurship. They're happening everywhere. What's different about this conversation is the attempt to knit together two regions. This is very unusual. Most topics are about even localized to a city or an industry. It's not this sort of big picture perspective that we need to think about bridging Europe and the Middle East around a topic of tremendous common interest.
We are literally in each other's backyards, and I think when an issue arises in one of our regions, the other one inevitably senses it and feels it. And I think in many ways Europe is an obvious trading partner as well as an obvious partner for growth. And so the hope is that we can engage and figure out effective ways we can work together as Middle Easterners and Europeans to hopefully make the world better for both of us.
The idea was to see how entrepreneurship could be utilized as a tool and where could Europe and the Arab world work together in utilizing this as a tool. And therefore we felt it was important to look at entrepreneurship from different perspectives, from an education perspective, from the public sector perspective, a private sector perspective, as well as innovation. And finally, how do you get funding for the different activities that you initiate?
The group was pretty much half-half, those of us who are from the Middle East, as I am as well, and work in the Middle East, and those who are Dutch, who do a fair amount in the Middle East. So it was sort of two worlds put together. And I think the first thing that really struck me is how quickly we sort of agreed on things to do, even though we come from very different realms in general.
We didn't know each other, few people know, but most of the people didn't know each other before. But I really got the feeling that we have a group of people now that are committed to the same causes. And that's the beginning of a change. It's the beginning that we human beings have to connect, and together we can make things work.
Today I attended the meeting about entrepreneurship, Europe, Arabian countries. It was very interesting because one of the things is very clear. We need entrepreneurship to achieve economic growth. Without entrepreneurs, there's no growth. We need young entrepreneurs. We need growing entrepreneurs.
I was really impressed by the level of people and the expertise that Salim arranged to involve. There were great entrepreneurs, there were politicians, there were great thinkers, people that are involved in the process of setting up incubators and investment funds. It was really, it got everything that you need to indeed set up structures and cooperation structures that make sense.
How can entrepreneurship be used in order to support understanding, in order to support development between both areas? And how can various stakeholders, whether governments, whether they're private sector, the education sector, how can we use entrepreneurship to bring people closer together? Because I think that's really what we're all about, and that's what we're trying to do.
I think Europe has a big role to play. And I think Europe traditionally has been a hotbed of innovation and entrepreneurship, along obviously with North America. And I think, you know, creating those bridges, I think will be a win-win situation. So I think the know-how, the expertise that Europe can bring to the Arab region, I think will help fast-track innovation, entrepreneurship, and turn it into a sustainable kind of journey, if you will.
The Middle East is a natural trading partner and business partner for the majority of the EU. So I think that this should continue, and several of the newer opportunities are all going to come from entrepreneurs and startups, especially in the rapid change that's happening with all the advances in technology and the great new ideas that are coming out of both regions.
The strength of women entrepreneurs in very harsh conditions, and I see a lot of similarities.
We can turn the coin to the other side and see what are the venues of enhancing the realities back in the Middle East or in the Arab world, or this kind of interaction and dialogue, and hopefully it's not only dialogue, but it will be translated into action plans, into concrete steps, which can reflect positively in prosperity, in stability, in growth.
If you ask me what it is that I see today that I did not see as clearly 2 to 3 days ago, is the ability to actually have the Europeans as partners in developing this concept that I told you about, which is really to continue to build the wider bridges and broaden that ability to get the entrepreneurs to exchange between regions.
What we as individuals and even some of us as a group are going to do tomorrow. That really gives me a good sense of hope and confidence.